So as you find your seat, you can also be in a chair. We'll start with a little bit of the cleansing pranayama, known as Kapalbhati, cleansing Shatkriya. And when we think about Kapha Dosha, it's a excess usually of liquid or mucus, heaviness, stagnation. So just seeing how your body feels today as you sit here. Bring the palms together at the heart, Anjali Mudra. Om Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Hari Om Tat Sat. May all the 5 elements work in balance, sustaining one another as they sustain this universe for the benefit of all living beings. Good. Slowly take the hands down and start to breathe in Samavritti, even inhale, even exhale. Gently begin to introduce Ujjayi, slight constriction at the throat, so you can hear the physical sound of the breath, thereby giving the mind 2 alambanas, 2 anchors, the sensation of the breath and the sound of the breath. Because Kapha Dosha mainly resides in the chest, the lungs, noticing the quality of your inhalation. How does it feel to breathe in? And noticing the quality of the physical energy in the body. Good. We'll start today with 3 rounds of Kapalbhati in our 3 different arm positions. So as you inhale, take the arms out and up. Interlace the fingers, press the palms up. Chin slightly down, back of the neck long. Good. Just stay here for a moment, feeling the adjustment in the spine. See if you can slide the shoulder blades down the back so that they support the lungs, and relax the inner groin muscles so that the thighs can properly release down for a base to hold the pranayama. Right, if you have any of the contraindications for Kapalbhati, such as if you're pregnant, on your cycle, or any high blood pressure, then just avoid and continue to breathe in Ujjayi. For the rest of us, 36 rounds of Kapalbhati. Go ahead and inhale all the way up to the soft palate. Hold the breath for a moment, contract the pelvic floor, keep the contraction of the pelvic floor as you forcefully exhale, passively inhale, mind focusing in the facial and chest region. Whenever you are finished, slowly take the hands down. Smooth, rhythmic exhalation. Place the hands on the lap and just observe. If the heart rate is beating fast now, just calm down the breath. And maybe considering a slower rhythm for your Kapalbhati, right? We want Kapalbhati to stay rhythmic. So maybe increasing the intervals between the exhalations will help you if the heart is beating fast. Chest should remain relatively still. Good. Next arm position. As you inhale, take the arms out and up. Interlace the fingers, press the palms up, lifting from the waist. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows, take the hands behind you, right? You can cross the arms behind you, touching opposite upper arms, shoulders, or shoulder blades. As you inhale, wrap the upper arm bones closer by the sides of the head. Chin is down. Good. Exhale to stabilize the legs, the base of your body. Relax the shoulders. And then inhale, rise the mind up the spine to the soft palate. Hold the breath for a moment, contract the pelvic floor, and then beginning on a forceful exhalation. 36 rounds here. Whenever you are complete, you'll inhale to lengthen the arms up and exhale to slowly lower, right? Each of these different arm positions helps to open the front of the lungs, the back of the lungs, the lateral edges of the lungs, right? Shaking up any excess mucus from the nighttime or environmentally through the change of season. Right, and then the final hand position, just down on the lap, palms face down. Keeping the waist lifted, back of the neck long. 36 rounds here, inhale. Rise your mind to the soft palate, light hold at the soft palate, contract the pelvic floor, hold the contraction as long as you can, and beginning on a forceful exhalation. And then whenever you are complete, just let the breath relax for a moment or two. Observe your heart rate. So Kapalbhati, especially when it comes to the Shatkarmas, Shatkriyas, is really wonderful for our Kapha Dosha, any imbalance in the Kapha Dosha. So just seeing if there's maybe a bit more clarity and lightness in the face and in the throat and chest region. Good. With your next inhalation, open your eyes, take your hands behind you, step the feet onto the ground, and then you're just going to come very easily up to stand. We'll take the feet slightly apart. You know, kaphas, when you have any kapha imbalance, the kaphas really benefit from, you know, anything with the joints, opening the joints. They tend to have a little bit more mass around the joints, muscle tissue, adipose tissue. So getting a little bit looseness right in the beginning of the practice before we do any more focused asana is always good. So we'll just start with a little rotation side to side. So just twisting side to side, right? From the head and neck, shoulders, ribs, hips, knees, and ankles. So just notice how all of the joints can be involved in warming up the process of the whole body from head to toes. Right, so if you do, have a moment in your life where kapha is in excess, then really think about what can I do to warm up the joints of the body. Good. Right, and any sort of kapha imbalance is pacified through more movement, more heat. Good. And then slowly coming back, right? Slow down the movement. Don't stop abruptly. Just slow down the movement and then come back to stand. Bring your feet together. And if you can, come to the front of your mat. If it's possible to face the eastern direction from where the sun rises, right? We'll do some Surya Namaskar. Feet together. Right, bring the shoulder blades down and back, supporting the lungs, chin slightly down to lengthen the brainstem. There is an activity in the legs by the pressure of the heel bones down into the ground. And as the heel bones press, slight stretching of the front of the abdomen, drawing in of the front of the ribs. Good. Inhale, bring the palms at Anjali Mudra in front of the heart. Exhale here. Imagining that solar light of the sun as you inhale, point the fingertips down, out, and all the way up. Interlace the fingers at the top if you can. Right, lifting from the waist. Exhale, separate the fingers and fold all the way down to the ground. Utkatasana, hands to the shins or in line with the toes. Head is down. Inhale here. Stay with the head down. Exhale, bend your knees, come into a deep squat, Utkartasana. Round the shoulders, drop the head. Inhale, pressurize the palms against the ground, slight lift. At the peak of the inhalation, contract the pelvic floor and then lightly step or hop to high chaturanga or low chaturanga. That's high plank or low plank. Good. Exhale here, lower the body to the ground. Inhale, extend the arms forward, palms pressed together, head down between the two upper arm bones, right? Full Namaskara position. Legs together behind you. Good. Let's just stay here for a breath. This is known as Danda Samarpanam, or the full surrender of the body to the sun. So in your mind's eye, in your heart, imagining that rising solar essence of the sun. Legs are actively reaching, inner thighs strong, palms, fingertips actively reaching to the front, stretching the spine. Good. Next exhalation, take the hands by the sides of the chest. Inhale, tuck the toes, and then you can lift up to low chaturanga, high chaturanga. Knees can stay on the ground if you need that. Exhale here. And then inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Knees down on the ground, please. Upward facing dog. Draw the shoulder blades back in space. Exhale, tuck the toes. Bring the hips back towards the heels first. Lengthen the lateral body and then lift the knees up off of the ground to come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Just stay here for a breath or two. Steady inhale, steady exhale. Good. Your next exhalation, bend your knees. At the end of your exhalation, gaze forward, step or hop forward to Utkatasana, your deep squat. Good. Inhale, slide the hands back, lengthen the legs, fold over the legs in Uttanasana. Good. Exhale, bring your upper body closer to the lower body. Root the weight in the heel bones, interlace the fingers. Inhale, extend the arms out and all the way up, come to rise. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Anjali Mudra. Just observe now. Again, if the heart is beating fast, no control of breath, just let the breath go. Let it come back to balance the heart rate, balance the breath rate. Good, we'll do this one more time. So the Kapha Dosha really benefit from more vinyasa type movements with breath, not so much longer holds. Good. Waking up the joints. Let's do this one more time. Start to deepen your breath again. Samma vritti, even inhale, even exhale. If you can, 4 to 5 seconds on the inhale, 4 to 5 seconds on the exhale with ujjayi. Slight sound of the throat helps to balance the mind. Good. And again, before we begin, either seeing in front of you or seeing within you the solar light of the sun. What is it that we are prostrating towards? Good. Inhale, point the fingertips down, out, and all the way up. Interlace the fingers at the top if you can, lifting from the waist. Exhale, separate the fingers and fold down to the ground, Uttanasana. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, bend your knees, plant the hands onto the earth, squatting down into Utkatasana, deep squat. Inhale, really energize the palms against the ground. Lift the head slightly. At the peak of the inhale, hold the breath, contract the pelvic floor, and then step or hop back. High chaturanga, low chaturanga. And then exhale down to the ground. Inhale, reach the arms forward, palms pressed together, head is down. Danda Samarpanam. Okay, and then exhale, take the hands back by the sides of the chest. Inhale, tuck your toes, and then push up into whatever variation of chaturanga you prefer. Exhale here, and then inhale. If the knees aren't lowered, lower them to the ground as you lift the chest, right? The upward facing movement is from the chest and the sternum, the lungs, and then exhale, bring the hips back towards the heels, stretching the lateral body, and then lift up through the knees, lengthen the legs, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale here. Exhale, bend your knees. Hold the breath out, gaze forward, lightly step or hop forward, Utkatasana, squatting down. Inhale, lengthen the legs, fold over the legs in Uttanasana. Exhale, bring the upper body closer to the lower body, not through muscular effort, but through the sheer emptying of the abdomen. Interlace the fingers, keep the head down as the arms reach out and all the way up. Rise long, and then exhale, hands to the heart. Very good. Breathing here. Your next exhalation, come into Tadasana, mountain pose, Samastitihi. Relax the arms down. Relax the fingers, face. If you need to soften the breath, then do so, observing the heart rate. Just notice if there's a bit more heat in the body. Good. Next inhalation, go ahead and open your eyes. This time you're going to step to the middle of the long edge of your mat. Yeah. Once you're there, feet are together. Inhale, take the arms out to the sides from the shoulders. Exhale all the breath out. Hold the breath out and then lightly step or hop the feet apart. Yeah, toes out, heels in. Good, right? And then for Kapha Dosha, these open hip variations are really very nice. We're going to do a little bit of Trikonasana, side angle, starting with the right side. So as you exhale, turn the left toes forward, right toes out to the right side, beginning to bend into the right knee, and then moving down towards Trikonasana. The forearm can come to the thigh, or if you go deeper, your right fingertips behind the right foot, left arm up overhead. Good. Next inhalation, use the back left foot, slow rise up. Come back to Trikonasana Sthiti, toes out, heels in. Take a breath here. Good. Your next exhalation, right toes face forward, left toes turn to the left side, and find your way to bend into the left knee. Any variation, forearm on the thigh or hand behind the leg as you come down, deepening into the hip. Use the back leg, slow inhalation, rising up. Good. Toes out, heels in, Trikonasana Sthiti. Just take a resting breath here. Very good. One more time. Exhale, Parshvakonasana to the right. We're going to stay here one breath. Right, and for Kapha Dosha especially, feeling deeper into the lung cavity as you rotate the lungs up towards the sky. Feeling the backs, the fronts, and the sides of the lungs. Good. And then inhale, rise back up. Be careful about the beginning of that inhalation. We tend to rush it. Exhale, over to the left side. Right, be in an arm position that's sustainable. That sustainability of the asana will further help you access the healing power of prana itself. Good. And then your next inhalation, slowly rise up. Toes out, heels in. Take the hands on the hips, exhale. Just stay here for a moment. Prasarita Padottanasana. Kappas really also benefit from inversions, right? A lot of the mass of the body tends to move downward into the hips and the legs. So inverting the spine to energize the body, energize the mind. Very good. Keeping the toes out and heels in. As you exhale, use your hands to draw the hips back in space and come to a forward fold between the open legs. And then relax the hands down. Lengthen the back of the brainstem region. Good. And this might be a very short stance for some of you, but first come into the sustainability of the pose with the breath. And then from here, if you like to heel toe the feet a little bit wider without losing the steady inhale and steady exhale, you may. 5 breaths. Hands underneath the shoulders. You can even reach to the big toes or hold the ankles. Hand position is not as important as the lengthening of the inner lines of the legs, stability of the pelvis, to then further this waterfall effect of the spine. Very nice, everyone. Good. 2 more breaths. And then either if your lower back needs more support to rise, definitely bring your hands to the hips first. Otherwise, interlace the fingers, bring the weight back into the heel bones as you inhale, extend the arms out and rise all the way up. Beautiful. Exhale. Take the arms out to the sides from the shoulders. Inhale here. And exhale here. At the end of your exhalation, you can lightly hop or just heel toe the feet together, coming back into your standing posture, right? Turn to the front of your mat. Good. Inhale, take the arms up. Interlace the fingers, press up through the palms. Now, as you exhale, you're going to squat down into Utkartasana, Ardha Utkatasana, halfway down. And then if you have the capacity, see if you can squat all the way down. Yeah. And then from here, lowering the knees to the ground, if you need your hands to help you do that, and then relaxing the tops of the feet on the earth, hands to the knees. There you go. Vajrasana. Good. Now go ahead and take the arms behind you. Inhale, arc the upper back, gaze up. As you exhale, you're going to fold forward. Take the top of the head onto the ground, lift the hips, lift the arms behind you, Shashasana. Just a beginner variation towards Shirshasana, headstand. So headstanding postures, inversions, again, very good for Kapha Dosha. So we can start with this variation, staying here 5 breaths. If you do have any cervical spine issues, let go of the hands and take them by the sides of the head onto the ground so you have more support. Good. Yeah. And then exhale, lower back down onto the hips. Inhale to rise. And then just bring the hips off to one side, swing the legs forward, and come to lie down in Shavasana. Let's just take a mini break now. Let all the breath go, no more control of breath. Natural breathing. Let the head relax, jaw slacken, joints soft. Just feeling the effects of this sequence for the body. See if you can sense the Rakta Sanchara, the blood circulation, towards Prana Sanchara, the subtle circulation of the energy in the body throughout all of the limbs. Good. Now go ahead and start to breathe deeper. Samavritti, even inhale, even exhale. Bring the legs together on the ground, arms down by the side of the body. Suptasana. Inhale here. And then exhale all the breath out. Empty, empty, empty through the abdomen. Tadaka Mudra, empty completely. Good. Now, your next inhalation, maybe press into the elbows, press into the palms, come to rise up so that you find yourself in Dandasana. And then cross the legs into a nice easy pose or any seated variation.